Okay, well done, everyone. Okay, good evening, everyone. I don't know how many people are online right now, but wow, I feel so bad, really. Hi, good evening, everyone who is currently available. I'm trying to wait for the class to get to a particular number before I start, so just in case I am not saying anything yet, don't think the class is not yet available. I think once everybody is online, I'm going to just run a very brief apology, okay? In the meantime, my sincere apologies for starting this. Okay, well, so far so good. I think I have 6 people in class right now. I am going to start like immediately. My sincere apologies to those who. Okay, I think I'm getting some alerts on Twitter also. Let me just drop this for people asking. So my once again, I think I am going to be apologizing a lot today. And I'm probably going to start doing something. I will set up the live stream earlier and just have the link shared with everybody so that we will not have this drama of going back and forth. Okay, so let's get right into it. Hi Ridwan, hi Otaro Gene. I hope I got that name right. Hi Luke Monomotosho. Good evening, welcome everybody. Tonight we will not be using any slides per se. I am going to be running you through. Okay, so the other problem I think I'm having right now is the fact that the internet connection speed tonight is a little bit silly for some weird reason. Oh God, why is that? Okay, so I think we're back on another good round currently. So, for some weird reason, the internet connection is a little bit shaky tonight. I'm on MTN. I've always been using MTN, and it's not really been giving me any issues. Tonight just seems to be a little bit silly. Anyways, good evening once again. Welcome. My name is Adetayo Kolade. This is Data Analytics Africa. This is a series of free sessions or free classes that we have been holding, trying to introduce everyone or people who care to know to the world of data analytics and creating a path or a learning path that will guide you through that process. Okay, we started out in the first few classes, although we altered our scheme of work, but we started out with introduction to relational database management systems. We continued with introduction to data analytics itself. which was more or less like a series of slides and presentations that try to guide us through what data analytics is all about, the applications of data analytics in the real world, and the types and stages of the data analytics process, how data analytics and business analytics are kind of intertwined, the essentials of business intelligence analytics, which is more or less a mixture of raw data analytics with business analysis. Okay, so far so good. We have not really deviated from our scheme of work. I'm going to try and bring that up right now so that we are still in the loop of what exactly we're doing and how we're going about it. Okay, so once again, I'm pulling up the course outline up on the screen right now. We talked about how we're going to start out this, and we said we've done basically data analytics essentials. We've done a relational database management systems concepts, right? Today we're starting Microsoft Excel. Okay, so far so good. I hope I'm making a little bit of impact, and for whatever it's worth. Okay, hi Oyebode, hi CCO, hi Adiola Rabiu. I'm going to try and just say hello to everybody as soon as you guys join. And I see something on the board now. So we're starting out with Microsoft Excel today. We've gone two topics down the line. Today we're starting the third. We decided, first of all, I'm going to apologize again. I actually said that I was going to start classes by 8:30 every day. Unfortunately, and for some weird reasons, a little bit beyond my control, right? I have been starting classes like 9:30. It's not been my intentions. I don't really want to be like that, but for some weird reason, I've actually had a lot of engagements in the last few weekends. I chose 8:30 thinking that by 8:30, as a good boy that I am, I'll be home and I'm free from all of the hassles of the day. But obviously, it's I'm getting myself into it that I get home a lot later. And as much as I don't want to push this class to 9:30 because I know people have to sleep, and then for Sundays too, people have to go to work the next day. But tonight we're going to try and run this class through. So right now, this is the first class that has to do with tools usage. And for this reason, I will like all of us to pay rapt attention at this point. What we've been doing so far has basically been theoretical, right? It's just been a bit of tidbit here and there. Okay, what's this for? How does this apply to this? Tonight we're starting practicals. Please, please, and please, one of the very important things I would like you to have is a working computer with Microsoft Excel, so that as much as possible you can follow through as we run some things on the system here. Okay, I know. So basically, I think I'm going to have to do a bit more in terms of scheduling things. We might run this class again tomorrow evening. I'm going to put up a notice on the Telegram group so that everybody who is interested can understand. I mean, have preparation and enough time to prepare ahead so that we can all be together in this class. So tonight we're going to just quickly run through it. If you're available tomorrow, you can also join in because I'm going to be doing a repeat of this class. Okay. So far so good. We said we've done these two topics. We're currently on number 3. After number 3, we're moving to Microsoft Power BI, Tableau Desktop. We'll be teaching SQL. Now, of course, every day I can try to like add more to this scheme of work. I know it's not perfect yet, but okay. So today, first things first, I'm dealing with the Excel interface itself. I know in my scheme of work here, I have tables, Power Query, data models, Power Pivot in that order. But I'm sure there are some people in this class who do not really have that real knowledge of Excel yet. From the surveys we did at the beginning of this class, I know we said we did a basic survey, and most of the people in the class were like 72% into Microsoft Excel or could use Microsoft Excel very well. Right now, I don't know how many people after the extra additions are. Okay, hold on a little bit, please. I need to confirm that my stream is smooth. No, it's not. Um, okay, so I think there's a little bit back and forth and lag in my internet quality, and I'm sorry, this is like the first time I'm experiencing this. Anyways, so as I was saying, I said tonight we're going to be running through Excel briefly. I'm going to do a brief introduction into Excel for people who are very, very new on the tool, who don't really know how to use it so much, right? And we will proceed from there. Tomorrow we'll run a repeat of this class, and subsequently we will take advanced classes in Excel. Now, once again, my name is Aditayo Kolade. On this journey with me, I have Fumi Owoye, I have Dotun Kolade, I have Ephraim Ebong, and I have Mary Oshinowo. These are like the guys who try to make this thing work out quite well. Okay, we are like the background in the Data Analytics Africa. You might not see much of us on the Telegram group and so on. Oh God. Please kindly confirm. Sorry, I need everyone to please confirm the quality of the stream. Let me know if it's bad, good, average, perfect, or terrible. Sorry, that scale was not necessarily in order. But let me know if it's terrible, bad, average, good, or perfect. Please, I would like you to drop something on the live chat box, so I have a good idea of what my stream quality is like. For some weird reason, MTN is trying to mess up tonight, and I don't know why. I legit don't know why. I'm having my speeds drop to as low as 53 kilobits per second occasionally. So please confirm the quality of stream if you're here. I'm waiting, please, so that I know whether or not to continue this and in what manner I should. Okay, considering nobody's really okay, good. My voice is okay, okay, but the video. How about the video? Although I've been on one static window all this while, so there might not really be so much changes in the video. But let's just confirm that we're here together. Okay, fine. So without further ado, let me move into it. This is Microsoft Excel. I'm not using any slides tonight, and I'll just run it through like a practical class. For the benefit of everybody, I think I might need to change my the appearance of my window. Okay. I'm sorry. My apologies. That's not supposed to be here. Account. Okay, I'm supposed to change this to colorful. Okay, so like most low to average, there's no weird reason. Okay, submarine cable cut. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought that was been fixed, but I thought MTN got that fixed already. Yes, the video is just an Excel sheet, it's just here. So good though, it goes mute and comes back almost immediately. All right, thanks Oloyede your body. All right. So I had to change my Excel back to what everybody is used to. It used to be that, of course, I liked that. I really like that black interface. All right, because it's a little bit cooler. But here we are. Let's just go back. So basically, this is MS Excel 2016. I don't know what version you have on your computer, but this is what Excel 2016 looks like. Basically, it's almost the same thing for everybody. Okay, unless you're using like 2007 or 2010, I'm sure you probably won't have it looking like this. But if you're using 2013 and 16, there's a very high tendency that this looks like what you're seeing. All right. Microsoft Excel is your first introduction to a data analytics career, basically. I'm sure as junior analysts, as junior, you know, junior data wranglers, Excel is one of the very first tools you probably used, and it's Excel has created its mark over the years. Lotus 123 used to be the de facto most popular program as a spreadsheet back in the days, but the introduction of Excel really make things take a different shape. Microsoft really put in a lot of effort into killing Lotus 123. I don't know if anybody here is familiar or ever used Lotus 123 before, but I mean, like the early 90s, late 80s, it used to be Lotus 123. Don't mind me, I'm not that old, dude. It's not like I'm so old that late 80s I was using Lotus 123 actively, but I know that in the early 90s, I think I actually used Lotus for a bit as a kid, like just playing around with computers and so on. So Excel is it's basically a spreadsheet tool, right? And small businesses get to use it as a data entry slash database software. Now, Excel is not a database for whatever it's worth. It is absolutely not a database, but Excel is more or less a spreadsheet that can help you do financial calculations, that can help you store small data and run basic calculations on all of that data. All right, compared to proper databases like Microsoft Access or Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle, and so on. Excel is basically just a spreadsheet tool. Now, one of the limitations Excel has that it's not making it advisable as a database software, or let me not confuse all of us, please. We have agreed on one thing: Excel is a spreadsheet software. It is not a database. Okay, I'm going to bring this out. What Excel is not. Excel is, okay, so it's a spreadsheet software tool. Okay, it can be used, sorry, excuse me, can be used for simple data storage, performs financial and scientific calculations. Now, what Excel is not. Okay, Excel is not, sorry, excuse me. Excel is not a database. Excel cannot store big data. Let me put it that way. Excel has storage limitations. So the reason why I'm pointing out these things here is because most of the time young people who do not really have that much database experience or do not really have that much data experience tend to assume or call Microsoft Excel a database. It's not a database. It's basically just a tool that helps you do basic calculations on some of your data. It's been abused by most small businesses as, of course, a database for recording data. But because of the limitations Excel has, Excel limits you to 1 million records. Let's go back to Microsoft Excel here. If you go towards the very end of this document, you would notice here that Excel limits you basically to 1,048,576 rows. Now, for a business or for an organization that, takes up a lot of data, stores a lot of data and so on, this is very useless because 1 million rows means, how much is that? Imagine transactional sales data from Amazon or Microsoft stores or something trying to come into this. You know what that means? That means you will slip there. Anyways, so basically, like I said, Excel is not a database tool. It's not a predominantly data storage tool. Basically, it's just something used for basic calculations. Now, and then of course, like I said, you can use for analysis. Now let me quickly rush through this. I will take you through all of these tabs one after the other, but I want you to know that as you move on in your data analytics career, one of the most useful tabs on the Excel window for you is the data tab. Okay, this is where we will be spending the bulk of our time in learning data analytics. All right. I will take you back and take all of these tabs one after the other, but I want you to put it at the back of your mind that the data tab is probably perhaps the most important tab for you as a data analyst using Excel. Okay. Okay, so there's a bit of static electricity from my computer that gets to shock me a little bit from time to time when my body is not properly earthed. So I had to wear my slippers right now. Okay, so let me continue that. So basically, right, on your home tab in Excel, you have your tab broken down into different segments. Okay, there's the clipboard segments, there's the font segments, there's the alignment, number, styles, cells, and editing. Now, basically, for every data entry you do in Excel, for every item you put into Excel, these tabs help you, in quote, format your entries. Now, Excel is made up of what makes Excel similar to a database, and I think why people get to refer to it as a data storage tool sometimes, is because Excel has that same structure of columns and rows, right? And you have intersections called cells. Now, this is the difference between Excel and your database. Your database does not really care about cells. In your database, every row is a record. If you remember, we said every row is a tuple. And I remember, I asked all of us to do a bit of research on what tuples are. I don't know who did that. Can you just say yes in the chat box? If you know you were a good student and you did your tuple assignment, just drop it in the chat box. Say yes or no. If you know you were a bad student, just drop no, that you did not do it. Anyways, let's continue. So basically, Excel has consists of rows and columns, right? And the intersection of a row and column is a cell, okay? And a cell is basically named as the column letter and the row number. So, for example, this cell will be an intersection of E and 3, which makes it cell E3. Okay. When you're handling data or when you're dealing with calculations and references and storage in Excel, you refer to the contents of each cell by the name of the column and the name of the name of the column and the name of the row combined together. Okay, good. Adetaya Akisoya, thank you very much. Luke Monomatosho, that's good. You did your assignment. Good, guys. Now, Excel also, one of the things to notice is that Excel has, that's a 65. Sorry, hold on a minute, please. Just 1 minute. Okay. So Excel gives you 16,384 columns, right? And 1,048,576 rows of data. This technically means that you have, let me run the math. I want to calculate the number of cells you have in an Excel document. Okay. So let me go back here to our clipboard. Basically, Excel features. Maybe at the end of this class, I'm going to share this this document with you that I'm just writing through. That will give you a bit of okay. So Excel features. Let me just put this here. You have 1,048,000, right? 1,048,000. Let's go back here. 1,048,576. 576 rows and 16,834 columns. Now, technically, what this means is that, of course, it doesn't mean you sleep there. Okay, please. Okay, I just had to confirm that my stream was still okay. Sorry, this is 384, not 834, please. 384 columns. So basically, if you do the math, it means that a typical Excel document contains how many cells? 16,384 multiplied by 1,048,576. Sorry, 1,048,576. This is what I'm trying to calculate. So it means that Excel has 17 billion 179 million. Wow. So 17 billion 179 million 869,184 cells. Wow, that's quite a lot. Now, if you let's assume that all the data you are putting in each Excel cell is let's say 1 kilobyte, right? This means that if you exhaust all the cells in your Excel document with 1 kilobyte of data each, it means that you have a document as large as 17 billion kilobytes. Divide that by 1024, and that means you have a 16 million megabyte file. And if you divide that by 1024 again, you have that's a 16,000 gigabyte file. So basically, I think the maximum size an Excel document can give you, if you have all the cells filled, is probably around 16 terabytes. Now, 16 terabytes is a lot of data, but I don't think it makes any sense technically to have all those cells filled up, because 16 terabytes will definitely not even, doesn't, let's be technical, it doesn't make sense. Anyways, let me drop all the parabolation and let's get to work, okay? I have a document I think I also want to use with us here. Just a minute. I think this will go a bit of a way in this class. Okay, so basically, right, when you, okay, fine, I am going to make reference to this later. Okay, I will make reference to this later. Let's just go on with our way. So now, basically, because Excel has that similar table structure that you get to use in most of your databases, and because Excel is basically like has this row column structure, it means that most times you get to store your data in Excel in form of tables, right? And what better way to start this by just let's have a sample data set which I'm going to run through us. We have the Data Analytics Africa class, right? And I want to use this as a sample table. The name of the class members, dates joined, for example, and let me say gender. I hope I don't have any transgender people here, so that when I start writing things like male, female, nobody will go and report me to Google and say that I am being gender insensitive. Lol. Let me love my lol again. Basically, my name is Tayo Kolode, right? And I joined on the 1st of February 2019. That's a random figure. Please don't pay mind to that. Me, I identify as male and I am a male. I was born male, I identify male. Please, if I misgender you, forgive me, just in case you're transgender. All right. Okay, so I'm creating a random table that we can actually use for a bit of analysis and stuff for reference in this class. So I have for me, who is, let me say she joined on the same date, and she's female. I know she won't tell me I misgendered her. I have Mary Oshino. Okay. We all of us probably joined on the same date because we're like family members. I'm going to put Aditaya Akinsoya here. Okay, who I think is male. Please, Tayo, confirm that you're male. My namesake. Let me say he joined on the 1st of January 2020. Okay. So basically, now I have entered data into this table. Okay, I have created a table which is basically the primary unit of analysis that you probably use in your journey in Excel. A table. Now, let me add Lukman Omoto Shaw, and I also it's going to say he joined on the same date. I believe Lukman is male. Okay. Otaro Gene. Taro Gene, please confirm your gender in the chat box before I will go and misgender you. Otaro Gene, Otto Kune for. Okay, please pardon my pronunciation of your name. In case I missed it, just forgive me. I'm not very good with. I know you're probably from Delta. Born and identified as male. Okay, good. I'm guessing Otarogene is also male. Now, I'm going to take you through, so I'm going to use this data, right, to run you through some of the basics here. So basically, you can do a basic copy and paste. Taking the clipboard segment as the first thing, you can do a copy, right? Now you can select your data and you can copy and paste wherever you want. Okay, that's one of the flexibilities with Excel. With a practical database, I won't be able to do this. I mean, this is not it's not even allowed. It's not even in the scheme of things in a database. All right. But with Excel, I can actually just move my data around, play around with things. I can cut with, and the way cut works, it means you take this out and then anywhere you're dumping it, you're removing it from where you took it from. I'm going to undo that because those are like basic functions. So of course, like I said, if I copy here, I can decide to paste it anywhere. Okay, that goes for that. That's like the most simple thing we're going to touch here in the home tab. Now for the font tab, okay, so now the other thing I think I want us to bring out is this. Now, if you notice, for every section in your Excel tab, for every section you have an expansion, a small arrow down button here that can expand more functionalities from what you're seeing here. Sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't need it, but whenever you need it, you can always quickly make reference to it. So if you click here, it gives you extra to more than what you just have here. Now, from here, you can actually see some other things. For the case of the clipboard, it shows you the items that you have on the clipboard already. Now, for as many things as I copy, right, it's going to add them into the clipboard. Now, I can always make reference to here and select something, right, to paste directly. Now, this can be essentially useful in cases where you have data that you want to repeat. You copied something earlier on, you've pasted it quite all right, but now you need it again and you don't want to have to go and copy it from where you took it from again. You can expand the clipboard and just select the cell where you want it to be and select that item. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So if you, of course, paste this, it changes whatever you have, right? You can decide to paste this, you can decide to paste this. Wherever you select, you can just paste what you want. And of course, you can remove items from your clipboard by saying delete. All right. Basically, that removes anything you have there. Now, that is the end of clipboard. Please, one thing I always say at the beginning of the classes, which I forgot to say today, is that for every time I'm doing anything, please just make reference to it. If you have any questions, if you're not satisfied with anything I'm saying, just drop it in the chat box. Let's continue. We'll have time for our spend. In another 20 minutes, I think I should be rounding up this class. So basically, you have the font area too, where you can do all sorts of formatting and styling to anything you have in each of these boxes. Okay, from here, if I decide I want my header in bold or in italics, or I want it underlined or all, I can actually just choose that from here. All right. If I want my header only as bold and I want all the items in my table in italics, I have that already. Please, if you're already familiar with all these things, fine, that's okay. If you're not familiar, just learn through. If you're familiar and you just want to do like a refresher course, you can stay in. The more we have, the merrier. Now, that goes for basic formatting. You can change your font type. All right, you can change the font type you have here to whatever fonts you want. Okay, there are several font options in Excel. which are of course tied to the font types you have on your computer. You would not see any font here if it is not in your computer. All right. Okay, so like I said, I can style this all around by choosing, basically practically anything I want. Okay, using all of the items here. Now, so I've run through the font type, the font size. Now, if you want to increase your font size, you can either use this drop down, or you can use either of these two. If you want to change your font size, you highlight whatever it is you want to change. Up means increase the size, down means reduce the size. That's that for that. Now you can also decide to fill with certain colors. I want my table looking more structured, so I put like a fill here with whatever color I like. So basically, if you see me making color choices, I like blue a lot. So if you're seeing me writing things in blue, just for covering things in blue, that's basically my color, and you will help me to manage it like that. Okay. Sorry, hold on, please. Just a minute. Okay, sorry. Oh, shoot. I always forget this thing. Please, guys. Oh, God. Okay, so I'm actually supposed to drop the link for the. God. I'm supposed to drop the link for this on the other channel, which I seem to always forget to do. Data Analytics Africa. Oh. So I just had for me remind me about that now. Okay, so let's continue, please. My apologies once again. As I was saying. Okay, so like I said, if you see me using blue a lot, just know that that's my personal color. I like blue a lot, and forgive me for using blue all the time. Just in case you like red and you're seeing that I is always using blue. My cultist though. So as I was saying, now you have this, you can fill with any color you want. If you do not find the color you want here, you can also go to more colors and choose from either standard, where you have a preset set of colors, or you can use a custom color you want. You can change the colors if you're very good with colors. You can change your color here by changing the red, green, blue components of that color, of those colors, and you can decide your own color composition. Now it's good to note that the maximum you can have here is 255. Okay, that's basically for color formatting. I'm going to try. I think it's going to be essential for me to give you guys a small handout on on what I'm doing today. I will compile that and share with you. Of course, if you are very familiar with the color scale, red in extreme, green, blue in extreme gives you white, and at the other end of the scale gives you black. Okay, you can change your color composition to hue Lume. I think in other versions of Excel, okay, no, you don't get that. You don't get CMYK here. Some of you are probably familiar with CMYK. Okay, so that's that for that. You can change your colors here. For me, I want to leave it this way. The next thing I'm going to talk about is borders. All right, you can add borders to your table by selecting this. Okay, you can choose the type of borders you want by going to more borders. You can redesign the way your borders look, and put different formats to your border. Now, these are not very, very important aspects of your data analytics journey, but I am telling them to you so that basically you know how to use Excel. It's basically an introduction to Excel, not like an in-depth class into Excel tonight. So just in case you have things that you feel like I'm not touching, please understand that. We'll move to that next time. Now, so that's basically for fonts, right? You can change, you can modify with your borders, your fill colors. In fact, you can change the color of your text also by using this option. Okay. I mean, come on, you can choose whatever colors you want. That's basically for that. Now, the next thing is alignment. Like I said earlier, first of all, you can always expand this to have more options into your your formatting. Now, if there's something I want you to note, it's the fact that when you expand this, number basically gives you this place, alignment gives you this place, font gives you this place, border is an extension of this place, which is here, field is an extension of this, protection, we'll get to that later. All right. So like I said, when you expand, you want more from a particular section. You expand this, it just brings you directly to font. Okay. If you expand this, it brings you directly to alignment. Note that all the other ones are still here, but it brings you to the one that you need at that point in time. Okay. So let's move up to here. We're currently here now. Now, of course, you can align for the aesthetics and pleasability or readability of your reports or your tables. You have the alignments to guide you. You can align your stuff in whatever direction, left, right, center. Either ways you want it, you can align in that direction. Okay, so also if you want indents, you can indent the data or the items in your table either inward or outward. Okay. Now this is for orientation. I rarely use this, but trust me, there will be some places where you might need this depending on the structure of your table. Okay. Or depending on the structure of data you have. If you angle counterclockwise or angle clockwise or vertical text. Sorry, hold on please, class. Okay, okay. Please can I get a minute please? I need to just sort out one call. I'll be back in a bit. Hello guys, my sincere apologies for the delays. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. It's just been a lot of things going on right now. I'm back. I'm back on class. And let's continue. So, I stopped at I stopped at gender. I'm sorry. The text directions in your cells. You can change the direction you want your text to be, but please, it's also very important to know that this can be a little bit messed up sometimes if you do not take proper cognizance of it. But whatever the case is, you can change your direction in any angle, manner, shape, or format you want. All right. Um, that's that for that. So let's go back to what we had before. Now this is this. Next on the list of items we have is wrap text. Now I don't know if basically if you type anything in an Excel cell, right, it tends to spill into the next cell. So if I type full name in this cell now, sorry, full full name in this cell. Now, because this cell is not wide enough to contain full name, it spills into the next cell. If I type, for example, home address here, right, you see it spills into the next cell again. So these are spilled into the next cell. But because you have something here, you can't see all of what you have here. In the event that you are constrained by the the width of cells you want to have, a wrap text helps you put everything in a visible format right inside each column you have. All right. So this is this for this. That's for wrap text. Merge and center comes in whenever you want to combine two cells together. So, for example, I have home address here. Let me give you a practical example of where you might need that. So, let's say, for example, you have customers full name. Okay. Under customers full name, you want the first name and the last name. Okay. Basically, these are two separate entities. Okay. First name and last name, two separate entities. Now, in your report building, you could want a situation where you have all of this inside one singular cell. Okay. In that way, you can merge both cells together. Let me undo this. You can merge this cell and this cell together to form one single contiguous cell by using merge and center. All right. Um, Now this is essential for report building. There are certain reports you want to build, and then you want it appearing in a certain kind of way. Um, you can do this. Now, if I select all borders now, it structures this in this kind of way. Okay, and I can put bold here, of course, and then include all of those other parameters I want here. All right. So that goes for merge and center. Next thing is the number formats. So basically, one of the things I didn't mention in the beginning was that the same way you have data types in your relational database management systems, you have data types in Excel. The only issue with the data types you have in Excel is that sometimes they are not particularly enforced. Okay, so for example, you have, and because Excel is basically for a lot of spreadsheet financial calculations and so on, you find out that there's a focus on numbers, on number data types. And with the number data types, you can see all the several options you have here. Now, let's take, for example, a number like 2. Okay. If you highlight this cell containing 2 and you come to your number formats, and on this drop down, you have, let me bring this here where it's visible so that whatever changes I'm making, you can see. Now, you have all of these number formats. The general, which says no specific format, just type it as it is. The number, which is like a decimal point or a decimal place number. The currency, which gives you that number with a currency symbol in front of it. Accounting, which is used for proper accounting. The short date, the long date, time, percentage, fraction, scientific, etc. You have more number formats also, where we stop at scientific, we have text, special, custom. Now, for number formatting in Excel, okay, for every number type you pick, okay, it changes the appearance in the cell. For currency, it appears this way. For accounting, it appears this way. There's a difference between currency and accounting. Currency shows the number as a currency. Accounting shows you that number in the accounting format, standard accounting format. Okay, short date. Now, this is one point I am going to have to talk about later in detail. Short date, long date, and how they relate to your numbers in Excel. Okay, let me expand this. So, there's a way Excel formats numbers and dates, particularly. Your date appears as a number in Excel. However, for the very first day in the world, right, is your of that Excel records is the 1st of January 1900, which is number one. And every day after that day is an addition of one. Okay, I'm going to make that reference here. Now, up until what we have currently, let me put 43567 here. 43567 is 12th of April 2019. And if I say 44567, okay, well, Thursday, 6th of January 2022. So you have it that every date in Excel is an additional number. I'm going to take you to that point where we will expatiate on this. Now, that's for this. Then you have okay, so also you can increase the number of decimal points you have in a number. If you do a basic calculation like pi, which is 22/7, right? You can increase that to as many decimal places as you want. Okay. And if you're tired of having so many decimal places, you can also reduce that to be 2 decimal places standard, which is what you use this for. Now, these are basically quick format options that help you format it as accounting or percentage or a comma denominated number. So for example, you have numbers in thousands, right? If I type 1890, by default Excel 10,890, Excel just leaves it at 10,890, 10890. But if I want to show it as a proper number separated with commas and all, I click on this and it automatically formats it as this. All right, that's that for that. Let me just put this accounting. Okay, no, this is number, this is decimal, also decimal. Okay, that's that for that. Now, the conditional formatting, format as table, and cell styles, let me run through those ones. Now, your conditional formatting helps you to highlight items in a set of cells or in a group of cells by applying certain conditions to them. Okay, I'm going to bring up a particular data set here, which I think I use from time to time for this demonstration. So this data set here I have here is a sample sales data set. All right, from whatever title. Now this date comes from, we have data from 2014 up until 2018, and this is 29,967 rows of data. Now this stands at 4.02 megabytes. All right. Well, so I am going to use this as a practical example for my conditional formatting. Okay. Now, what conditional formatting does for you is that it formats a group of cells based on a specific set of conditions. Okay, you can have a group. In fact, let me go back to the very first document we had, the one we're using for this class. Okay, I could decide to format this place based on the based on certain parameters. Now, for example, if I wanted to highlight only cells where I have females, for example, all right, or let me start with, in fact, let me start with something else. Let me give you an age column, right? I don't know anybody's age here, but I'm just going to put random numbers. I know, look, man, you're not 78. I know you're not 78. Let me not, even as much as I know that this is not an adult class. Anyways, and let's say 32. Okay. Oh, okay. For me, it's not 45. I know these are supposed to be random numbers, but I just feel like when some numbers are a bit over the top, they look somehow. Um, okay, so fine. This is it. I think this is a very fair. Mary also is not 34, but it looks like a fair distribution. Let me give myself the highest age here. I know I'm not that. I'm not this old, please. I beg. Okay, so I have designed this table, right? I mean, this whole table. I have created an additional column. But if you notice very well, this does not look like the rest of this table. Okay? One thing I can do to make this look like this is to highlight all of this and use the format painter to style it in the same way this looks. All right. I think I didn't talk about format painter earlier. What the format painter does for you basically is it copies the formatting you have in one cell and applies it on another set of cells or cell that you choose. Okay. So, for example, this cell has been formatted blue background with black text and aligned to the left. Okay. If I highlight this cell now and I do a format painter and I drop it here, it applies the exact formatting I have here onto this, okay, onto this cell. Now that's for format painter. Let's come back to our conditional formatting. So I have formatted this to look like this, but I want to know, okay, who are the students we have in this class whose age is above 26, for example? All right, I can come to conditional formatting, and under conditional formatting you have different categories and different styles for formatting. Okay, you can choose to highlight certain cell rules where you have cells that are either greater than, less than, between, equal to, text that contain a date occurring or duplicate values. All right, this duplicate values is something that's used very often by a lot of people. I'm sure if you're currently into active use of Excel, you would have come across this once or twice. So basically, we can come here and say highlight cell rules greater than. We said we want people who are greater than 26. Now, by default, what it gives you is an average of all the numbers there as the value that you want to filter. But let's say you want people that are above 26 years of age. Okay, by typing that here, by default it gives you that formatting that you have here, light red fill with dark red text. Okay, you can choose any other option that you have here, or you can do a custom format for yourself. Okay, so I want people that are above 40. I want that cell to be filled yellow, and I want the color of the font, because I want the font bold and in italics. Okay, no, bold italics. Okay, and I say okay. All right, by doing that, it formats these cells that have values greater than 25 as a yellow with black text in italics. All right, I can also go back here and say I want people who are less than 26, right? And I say okay, or let's say less than 27. Let me put 27 here. And I say okay, do this as another custom format. Make this green, and in fact, well, let me say yes, green font color. I want it as red. And I say okay, okay. Well, I'm going to come to this later when I talk about visualizations, but this is not optimal because with what we have here, it's not very legible. Not everybody will see this clearly enough. So this is actually not very, very good. But just for the essence of demonstrating conditional formatting, that's why I had to run through this. Okay. Now the other option in your styles is the okay. So sorry, one more thing. I can clear all the conditional formattings I have here by coming to clear rules and clear rules from selected cells. It returns it back to default. Okay. There's another option in conditional formatting where I can use color scales to highlight in a certain order the the divergence or convergence of the numbers I have in a cell, in a group of cells. Okay, so I could have this where the highest number is green and the lowest number, or the highest number is red, or highest number is green and the lowest number white, and so on. Now this can be valid when you're running things like report cards, for example, or report when you're reporting certain KPIs and you're comparing numbers across people. Okay, of course 40 is young, so that's why I'm looking green here, 23, I beg, they are still coming. Anyways, but that's basically what this is about. That's what your conditional formatting does for you here. For color skills, for data bars also, you could have highlight those sets of cells and then include data bars there that give you a set of bars that are approximately proportional to what you have here, to the range of cell numbers you have in these cells. Okay, that's that for your data bars. Next thing will be icon sets. Now, I'm not going to use icon sets now. Sorry, let me highlight this. Sorry, but let me just show you what icon sets could look like. So basically, now this is low, high, low. Basically, this is like icon sets that work based on something close to the average. All right. You use them in different occasions and for different purposes. All right. I'm not going to really elaborate much on that right now. Next thing we're going to touch on is the formatting as tables. Now, in Excel, and this is not being, I'm not going to spell this out now very well until tomorrow, where I will be going in depth into tables. If we go back to our scheme of work, I didn't really talk about the formatting and all because I'm going to be making reference to talking more about tables and how these things apply into the real analytics. Guys, please give me another moment. There's a call I need to pick. Okay, guys, my sincere apologies. It's just been so many things working for me right now, and I'm sorry again. I had to put a pause on the video. I'm back. Yeah, Oluwa Sumisayo, thank you for having my back and bringing covering up for me while I was away. So like I was saying, I stopped here at the formatting as table. So I was making reference to the scheme of work we had, and I said that if you notice in my scheme of work, I made tables the primary thing. Okay, like it's the very first thing I had to talk about, and having your having your work in formatted in a table in Excel is very, very important for certain reasons that I will not expatiate on in this class, but I'll talk about in the next class. Okay, but basically, let me just show you how to format your data, your range as a table. Okay. Now, by default, Excel deals with ranges. Okay. A range could be a group of cells. It's usually a group of cells. All right. From one point to another. You could have, excuse me, please. Okay, so you could have a vertical range, a horizontal range, or basically a tabular range. Okay, so this is a horizontal range, a group of cells on the same line horizontally. This is a vertical range, a group of cells vertically following each other. This, on the other hand, is basically a tabular range or an array. Now, your range could be from B4 to E4. Now, this is what that looks like, B4 to E4. Okay, or it could be B4 to B10, right? Which is B4 to B10. Now, if you notice here, what you have is the same row number, different column letters, right? On the flip side, what you have here is the same column letters, but different row numbers. Now, B4 to B10 is referring to this, right? B4 to E4 is referring to this. Now, the third range type we have is from B4 to E10, right? So everything here is basically dynamic. B4 to E10. Okay? No similar letter, no similar number. This is this. This is something else. Oh, sorry. Take purple. And this is, let's say, green. All right. Now, this refers to a box that's more or less like an array, a range of cells that are kind of split across an array. All right. So you have B4 to E4, which is this. You have B4 to B10, which is this, and then you have B4 to E10. Now, this is a range in Excel. However, for certain calculations and for certain intents and purposes, you might want to format your range as a table. Okay. Now, when you highlight a range of cells in Excel and you click on Format as Table, it gives you several pre-formatted table options that you can choose from. Okay. And when you select on any one of them, it shows you this dialog box where it asks you, where is the data for your table? And of course, so you can see now this is B4 to E10. I am going to make reference to these dollar signs later. but this is basically it. And then it asks you, does your table have headers? And that is checked if your table truly has headers. And you click OK. If I remove the field I included here, it shows you this table in the format that you selected here. All right. If you change the format to something else, it gives you exactly how it looks here, and so on and so forth. So basically, this is what your table is. Now, by default, your table, when you format your range as a table, it gives you a drop down to select and filter by, okay, on each column. The next thing we're going to deal with here is the cell styles. You have a list of pre-formatted cell styles that you can choose from and use to design your cells. Basically, you could choose from any of these pre-formatted cell styles that show you that change your text in your cells to whatever it is you want it to look like, which you choose. Of course, these are not mandatory, they are not compulsory. It's just Excel's way of giving you formatting options to pre-format your data. Now, we move on to the cells. Insert, delete, and format. Okay, now basically, let me open a new sheet for this. What these guys do for you is, let me copy this data we have here. I'm going to paste it as just this to remove the formatting. Okay, however, I'm going to put a table and put borders around this and make this bold. So for example, this allows you to perform insert and delete functions on a row level or column level. So for example, I could decide that I highlight these and I insert. Okay, what that does is it creates an extra row for me. Or I could do this and say insert. What that does is it creates an extra column for me to the right. To the left. When I did this, it created an extra column, an extra row above. And when I did this, it created an extra column to the left. Right, that's that for insert. Now for delete helps me to remove what I have inserted. For example, if I want to remove a record from here, I can say delete. Now, format allows me to change the formatting of different columns and rows. Okay, I would like to round up this class now. I am sorry we had a very, very rough class tonight, but I promise that tomorrow we'll have a lot better. Okay, my sincere apologies for the quality of today's work. It wasn't very properly prepared. I had a lot of things going on for me. Tomorrow we continue and hopefully we'll have a better and more proper class. On this note, I have to run because I have a lot of calls to attend to tonight. We shall continue tomorrow and I promise you my full attention. Until then, have a wonderful night rest. If you have any questions, please drop them on the Telegram group. Okay? Have a wonderful night rest, guys. See you tomorrow.